Long way, get this shit a long way, hit the long way, long way, hit the long way, 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 shit, long way, 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 get shit a long way, gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit, gotta get the shit a long way, gotta get the shit a long way, gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, but she don't understand. She be tripping every day, she be tripping every way, but I gotta get this shit a long way, tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, every day we gotta get paid, I'm feeling like we be the new slave, no we gotta finish rich, no we gotta finish rich, got a new bitch, she don't understand rich, she don't understand niggas gotta get rich, she don't understand sometimes we gotta hit lit, no we ain't hit lit, tryna get the long way, tryna get the shit the long way, Coach is tryna wrap up a entree, told you the other day that did my phone strong, we gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, get the shit the long way, my bitch be trippin' back and forth like the phone way, my name is Tari, I ain't playing games, so I'm done talking, yesterday she told me that she bout to leave, said fuck it bitch, we gonna get some money, said fuck it bitch, I'm about to get some money, so what I do today, I went and got some money, cause we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get the long way, back and forth like the pong way, man, I'ma get this shit the long way, get this shit the long way, just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy, we gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day, we be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, for so we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get this shit the long way, we get this shit the long way, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, we get the long way,
Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host, LJ Young, the founder of SMD. Let's see, I just jump straight to the chase. All right, so I have discovered that capitalism is psychological. What's up, Kang? Into me, UC2, Omanike. I have discovered that capitalism is psychological, okay? And with knowing this, I can see how things really work, right? So what I do is I pretty much help you own yourself, okay? And in psychological capitalism, the majority must be in debt and not know it, okay? That's the psychological part. Believing mortgages can buy homes, car loans buy cars, financing electric cars saves money on gas, things of that nature. That's all psychological because none of that is mathematically true. None of it. Okay. But with understanding that capitalism is psychological, I understand that it must be that way. For example, here's another example. When you understand that capitalism is psychological, and then you look at taxes, you say to yourself, oh, that's the purpose of taxes. Oh, got it. Oh, if you didn't force them to play, they wouldn't. Nope, they wouldn't. Got it. Understood. Oh, if you understand the rules, you pay taxes, but not really. no, no, that's true. No. You can legally be debt and tax free legally. But the step number 1 to even understand any of what I just said, you have to own yourself first. That's the hard part. Because I now understand with capitalism, none of this works without people. Okay. We are the only species that consumes unnecessarily. We, us, humans. Okay. So we are the only species that does that. So in order for capitalism to work, people must be part of it. And there must be people that understand that there's capitalism. And then along with capitalism is called psychological capitalism. Okay. People inside capitalism, they don't know psychological capitalism exists. Even when I say it right here on the mic, they have no idea what I'm talking about. Don't believe it. If everybody, the things that pop up in their head, if everybody knew it, everybody would be rich and wealthy. And yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand all that. But you must understand there must when I say people must be involved, there must be people that understand, and then there must be people that don't understand. The majority must not understand, and then there's very few of us that do. Period. Okay. You understand the true purpose of taxes. You know not to cheat on your taxes or hide money and pretend you worked and didn't earn something. You know not to do that because you understand why. There's absolutely no need for any of that. None of that. Now, when you're here, and now remember, I discovered this. Okay, this is something I discovered. So that means it was already here. Just all you got to do is just look up how long capitalism has been in America. I think it's since the 1900s. So right there, that's where it started. Once regular capitalism was born, so was psychological capitalism. Of course, they go hand in hand. They must work together. I can I can clearly I can clearly see that. Now, I try to do things so you guys, if you're new to the channel, you probably never heard a person like me before. So I try to do things that you can verify to be true, right? So I do things that nobody else will do, especially in the game of personal finance, will do. So I make a video showing my entire personal credit report. Now you got to ask yourself, have you ever seen anybody show you that before? 9 times out of 10, the answer is going to be no. The majority of the people, you guys are in relationships with people that you have never seen their credit report. Some of you guys have children with other people that you've never seen their personal credit report. And you got to be honest with yourself and be like, that's true. Why not? I haven't. There's a reason because you don't know. That personal credit report is the answer to everything. So you see me do it and you think to yourself, damn, not only listen, when I made that video, I was 50. So when you watch that video, you say to yourself, not only have I never seen it before, I've never seen a 50-year-old person's personal credit report ever. When you look at my personal credit report, you know what that says? Nobody owns me. A credit report is a owner's ledger. You log into the credit report, go past the credit score and look in there and see if you have owners and see how many you have. This is why I show mine. So that when you come and you see that video and you got to think to yourself, you've never seen that on any other social media platform on anywhere. And again, you got to ask yourself when you actually hear me say that, you got to say to yourself, well, he's right. I've never heard of anybody doing that before. I'm telling you something. I'm here to show you something. It's nothing that I have to prove because the math proves it everything. Now remember, everything I say go along with mathematics. So if you hear me speaking and you don't agree with me, you're not disagreeing with me, you're disagreeing with mathematics. You got to say that to yourself. I'm not disagreeing with him. I'm disagreeing with mathematics. And then when you say that out loud, how absurd that sounds. Now I am, like I always tell people, I truly believe this gift, which it is a gift. I know something that billions of people don't know. That's what a B, billions. I am to help the people because again, and none of this works without people. All humans die. The people that know and the people that don't know, everybody dies. It doesn't matter how much money you have, whether you knew psychological capitalism existed or not, everybody dies. So there must be people that understand. Not many, not too many are needed because it's usually once you teach a few, then it's generational and it just keeps passing down and passing down. And usually the same people remain in, I don't want even want to say power, I'll just say in under passing down psychological capitalism through the generations. This is the way it works. This is how it works. Because again, when you understand capitalism is psychological, and then you look at public schools, and I say, oh, that's why public schools are set up like that. Got it. You know, Monday through Friday is school, Monday through Friday is work. Every certain holidays off, the school always gets the holidays off too. Just it's just practice getting you ready for start what? Working. So you're already kind of trained Monday through Friday, Saturday, just like school. Saturday and Sunday, no school. Saturday and Sunday, no work. So when you do the transition into the working world, you're pretty much ready. You already know how it works. I get it. I totally get it. Because even when I was in the debt matrix, I used to always go, well, who made up the 40-hour work week anyway? You know, all the debt slaves around you will say, oh, the rich people. And don't think about it again. Just walk away. Just go back to work and go back to their stations and be like, never, never once really realized listening to what they just said. Oh, the people that the wealthy people. Well, how do you be wealthy then? So I can do the same thing. I think I keep coming back here. So because when I was in the debt matrix, nobody had ever told me what I'm telling you guys today. Hey, you got to own yourself first. Nobody has ever said that to me ever. Hey, you know your credit report's a owner's ledger. What? A owner's ledger? Trust me, I would have been just like you. What do you mean a owner's ledger? What are you talking about? You see all those businesses inside of your credit report? Yeah, they all own a piece of you. That makes you a debt slave. They own you until they get their money back. They all own a piece of you. You are the stock in the what? The stock market. That's you. You're the stock. Once you understand capitalism is psychological, you clearly see who the stock is. It's you guys, because you guys don't have any money to invest in anything. That makes you the stock. You can't invest in the stock market while having student loan debt. And if you don't know that, that makes you the stock. You can't buy a house with a mortgage. That makes you the stock because you believe you can. That makes you the stock. I got a news flash for you. Guess what? The stock market wouldn't even exist without you. Listen, it could not exist without you. Debt slaves, you. So when you look at like here, let me now you could I'm just here to share something with you. I'm not convincing you of anything. This is just what it is, okay? No currency exists for you guys. None. Zero. Nothing in any form does currency exist for you. None. Okay. Now along comes cryptocurrency, which which doesn't physically exist. Now, when you're out on the outside looking in, I'm just looking at what they're doing to you guys, debt slaves. Anything they want, it's unregulated. It's like the Wild West for people that don't know. Just trust me, it's the Wild West for the people that don't know. Debt slaves, no currency exists for you. So they're taking this imaginary currency that you guys think the stories that you guys come up with. Hey, the government's not gonna like it. They're not. Uh, they're mad because it's unregulated. They can't do anything to it. If you guys believe that shit, you guys are debt slaves. Debt slaves do stuff. Debt slaves talk like that. I guarantee you, the people that are telling you stuff like that, all you got to do is turn to them and say, "Do you got student loan debt?" When they tell you yes, that's why they believe what they're saying because they're in debt. They have no money. That's why they're talking like that. You're the crypt. Hey, listen. If you believe, okay, listen. If you believe you can invest in cryptocurrency while having student loan debt, that makes you the cryptocurrency. Do you understand? That makes you the cryptocurrency. So now you times that by millions of other people just like you that believe they can invest in cryptocurrency while having credit card debt, car payments, student loan payments, uh, mortgage payments, furniture payments, and then they're investing in cryptocurrency. Listen, that makes them the cryptocurrency because you cannot do that. But then when you understand how it is, that's how it must be. That's how it must be. You guys must believe that. Do you guys think the housing market? Do you think the housing market could exist if you guys didn't believe you could buy houses with mortgages? Of course not. Even with me saying this now, hey, you can't buy a house with a mortgage. You still don't understand what I'm talking about. That makes no sense to you. I know it doesn't. What do you mean? You probably thinking. You probably thinking. Well, what do you mean? Millions of people buy houses with mortgages. Who told you that? Who cares what millions of people are doing? Is it mathematically true what all those millions of people are doing? No, then who cares what they're doing? So what? That's called that's called business. Okay. I understand that's how it must be. And I also understand even I also understand even with me talking like this, I know you guys can't hear me. You know why? Because it's against the laws of mathematics for you to hear me. If you don't listen, if you don't own yourself, it's against the laws of mathematics for you to understand what I'm talking about. It's totally and listen, and nobody can break the laws of mathematics. Nobody. Nobody can. Now, if you still believe you're a homeowner while having a mortgage, that's where you're gonna live, and that's where you're gonna die. You're gonna die in the debt matrix. You're gonna die there. But die believing that paying interest your entire life was just part of life. No, it's not. Paying interest is not part of life. No, it's not. Only debt slaves believe paying interest on everything in their life is normal. Do you understand? But that's how it works. And I understand that and I respect it. I understand. Put it this way. I understand where I was born. Okay. I was born in 1969. When I was born, capitalism was already here. All the rules were set in place, everything's put in place, and they're there for a reason. You just don't get to be born and be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna do it that way." Okay, well, there's already things in place for people like you because that's expected. Those things are, I mean, when I really look at it, those things are put in place to continue to make money, even when your freedom's taken from you. Continue to make money. It's all built in. It's just part of the system, and every part of this system is a choice. You either choose to own yourself or not. Period. That's the choice. Because I tell you one thing, and this is better sooner than later. Once you own yourself, I always keep saying this. When you own yourself, you know what you're gonna realize? Wait a minute, I'm gonna be dead one day. It's the craziest thing. I kid you not, it's the craziest thing. I don't really understand this. Well, I understand it now, but when you own yourself, you can be like, sorry about that. You're gonna be like, oh my God, I'm gonna be dead one day. Yep. That means time is the most valuable thing on earth. Time. Sure is. And then guess what's gonna automatically kick into your brain? What can I do to own the majority of my time? What can I do? What can I build? What can I design? What kind of business can I create? What kind of because the only thing that's going to get you time is creating something worth of value. That's the only way it's going to work. You have to create something that has value. And my gift is the value, it's the biggest value you could ever have in your life to own yourself. That's the biggest one. And I don't think there will be anything that tops it. Because once you own yourself and you realize time is the most valuable thing on earth, your whole entire life is going to change. Everything's going to change. You're going to eliminate time wasters in your life. I don't care who it is, family, friends. If they're wasting your time being fake or whatever, they're eliminated immediately. You know those people that call you, want you to listen to their problems, and then when you try to return the favor, talk to them, they ain't got time to be hearing your problems. They're gone. Those are energy suckers. You're gonna eliminate those people too. Goodbye. Those people are gone. Bye bye. You won't even consider dating anybody else that doesn't own themselves. That would be a total waste of time. You own yourself? Nope. Okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah, we can never be serious. That's how you'll be. Because you'll know, listen, once you own yourself, this is the wonderful part about understanding that capitalism is psychological. You will know that it won't care. It doesn't matter what they look like, what their job is, what college they went to, the color of their skin, whatever. If you find out they're in debt, they're just a debt slave, period. A debt slave that doesn't own themselves. We got doctors that don't own themselves, lawyers, high ranking officials, they all don't own themselves. It doesn't matter. There's high ranking debt slaves, college educated debt slaves, ki- debt slaves to doctors. Did you guys know a debt slave could be a doctor? A brain surgeon, too. It could be a brain surgeon who's a debt slave. It doesn't matter. This will be the gift you'll have. You will have financial X-ray vision. You'll be like, hey, if that's a debt slave, yeah, nah, mm-mm. You mean you can't be serious with me because you mean you can't be serious with me because I'm not gonna pay off my student loan debt. That's exactly what I'm saying to you. Yes, we cannot be serious because you're not gonna pay off your student loan debt. Can I be any more clear? Well, there's a whole bunch of people that always do. Everybody around me, they're like, "Hey, man, student loans just part of life." That's why you guys are friends because you guys think student loan debt is part of life. That's why you guys are all friends. Everything changes, everything. You'll go through a little phase of leaving, the debt matrix because that's the majority, man. That's all you know of your life is high credit scores and mortgages and car payments. Yeah, once you're out of that world, you're like, it's like coming. I take it to the equivalent of coming off the most high powered drug ever, fentanyl times 100. You got to come out withdrawals out of the debt matrix. It's just not gonna. The debt matrix is just not gonna just let you go. It's gonna make it hard because you've been in it all your whole entire life. And then when you get out of it, you're gonna be like, "Oh, man, it's so much more quiet over here. It's not even it's no longer noisy. Because after a while, like right now, I don't hear dead slaves chitter chatter. I don't listen to them. Half the information you guys get about your financial information, you're getting them videos and shit, you're getting it from a debt perspective. You gotta you don't- But see, you guys don't know to ask yourself this. You guys don't know to say, am I getting my financial information from a person that owns themselves or not? Now, the reason why you don't know to ask that question because you've never owned yourself. So you don't naturally know to ask that question. Do you but when you own yourself, that's a that's the first question. So say like this. So like I go hire a tax especially this, and this is very important for you guys to understand this, okay? If I go hire a tax professional and that tax professional doesn't own themselves, I won't be I won't be asking for their service. I won't be using their services. I won't. Cuz as a tax professional that doesn't own themselves, they really don't know. They really don't know. That's a major red flag right there. You mean you don't know to own yourself first to understand how taxes truly work? Oh yeah, nah. Uh-uh. Of course they're going to turn to me and say, "Hey, you think you're some tax professional?" No, I just trust mathematics. I trust the calculator. And you obviously don't. That's what I would turn to the tax professional. I trust the calculator and you obviously don't. I can prove it. I would look at that tax professional and say, "You and I are bound by the laws of mathematics. Is that or is that not correct?" Of course, you're involved in taxes. Of course, you're bound by the laws of mathematics. So, according to the laws of mathematics, when you look at your personal credit report, does it look like you own yourself with that large negative number inside your credit report? Obviously not. And if you don't know that and you're doing people's taxes, you're missing a ginormous piece of the puzzle. Ginormous. Yes, that's a word. Ginormous. Oh, I can't see your personal credit report? Yeah, okay. Never mind. I'm leaving. Why? You just told me I can't see your personal credit report. I remember when I was somewhere, some social media site. I think it was TikTok. That's why I got off. TikTok's way too noisy. Anyway, this person was talking about investing, whatever, and I said something like, yeah, anybody that talks about investing, I want to see their personal report first. He got so insulted. He got so insulted. I'm thinking to myself, do you get that insulted when you fill out a credit application for the bank when they say we're going to take a look at your credit report? Because when you guys fill out credit applications, you guys don't get offended when the bank asks that question. Hey, we need to see your personal credit report first. We're going to run your credit. Okay, you guys just think that. But then when a person to person deal, even though it's business, even though it's still business, then that person says, "Hey, I don't want to do business with you unless I can see your personal credit report." Then people get offended. It's like, what's the difference between me and the bank if we're doing business? Nothing. There's nothing. There's no different. When I see it, when I do something like something involved that's me and another entity and involving money, oh yeah, personal credit report, that's a requirement because I'm not letting anybody near my money that doesn't own themselves. Nope, no sir, no. Paying interest temporarily, not forever. Even Dave Ramsey says the grass feels different under your feet when the house is paid off. Yeah, and it's very that's true. And really, if you think about it, to have eliminated the largest expense that you have in your life, which is rent and or mortgage, right? That's the large. If if somebody would have shown me to say, stay out of debt, buy you a place, buy means pay it off cash, whatever, right? And then and if somebody would have said it to me like this, and then once you do that, you never have rent and or mortgage again for the rest of your life. You just got rid of that expense for the rest of your life. Nobody told it to me like that. Nobody told it to me like that. Hey, you can call me Adrian. Okay, all right. Hello, SMD family. Looking at my paycheck this week and observing the $1,681.34 that they took for taxes. No good. Wow. You might, since you're paying off your house, there's and it really counts on how much you are making, right? So the best way I can describe it as it counts on where you're at in your tax bracket and go see your tax professional, okay? Because they could say, even I know this kind of won't make sense, but it really does. So say like you're in just above in the next higher tax bracket, right? So you're paying X amount in percentage in taxes, right? But if you make a investment into your retirement plan, so say like you were just like $5,000 over into the next tax bracket above, right? And then you take $5,000 and invest it into your retirement plan, which would bring you down below back into the previous tax bracket, saving you the difference by doing that. Plus, you're putting, but just kind of run that to your or your retirement professional, tax person professional, and kind of give them the idea. Hey, what can bring down my tax? And they should be able to understand what I'm trying to explain. Monique says you're right about that, LJ. If they don't own themselves, we can't do business. They can't. We can't. We cannot do business. When the wonderful thing about this gift too, when you're in business, this you can easily see the not people that are not so good in business, if they're just trying to, you know, because believe it or not, the majority of people in business are in debt. Okay, they're in debt too. There's debt slaves that own businesses. Okay, I don't want you. There's debt slaves that drive Mercedes Benzes, drives Ferraris, live in the penthouse downtown in your city. Those are all debt slaves too. Okay, they're not just because they're there. That don't mean they're not debt slaves. They just make more money than you. They're still debt slaves. They're just put it this way. They're just debt slaves with larger monthly payments than you. Okay. The reason why you're not there in the penthouse or driving the car they're driving because you can't afford the payments that they're doing. You can afford the payments that you're making, but you guys are both still making payments, so it doesn't really matter. Payments are a sign that you don't own. Owners don't make payments. Okay, that's what makes them owners. So if you're making payments on something that you believe you own, you obviously don't own it because you're making payments. In business, people like that are easy to see. Greedy people, just taking people's money, bad customer service, and just I don't. It's the weirdest thing, man. It's like being when I'm in business. My competition. I model Amazon. You know what I'm saying? That's you got to. That's the customer. You can't treat the people that are buying your service like shit. You can't do that because without them, there is no you. So it's easy for me to see who I'm gonna do business with, who I'm not gonna do business with. Those people are not hard to see. This will help you through business. Even when you choose whatever business you choose, as long as you do it debt free, if you own yourself first and then you decide to open a business, you're gonna open a business that's gonna make you that you're gonna enjoy. Right? You're not gonna do it because, oh, doing this makes a lot of money. No, you're gonna do it because that's what you enjoy doing. Because if you make a lot of money at something that you enjoy doing, you never work a day in your life. I don't feel like I'm working. I get on the mic when I want to get on the mic. It doesn't nobody, you know what I'm saying? My goal is to own 100% of the time in my life, and I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close. It's in sight. I can see it. Because once you own over 50, oh, that's it. There's no going back after that. Because it's gradual. You gotta pay off your debt first. Okay, now you get some of that time back, and then with you paying off your debt, you don't have to work as much. So you're gonna cut that working time down. You're gonna get that time back, and it's just gonna keep growing and keep going and keep going, and then you're gonna get to a point to where now you can't go back. You can't even imagine yourself going to a building to sit behind a desk or in a cubicle for the next 8 hours, and then you're leaving to go back home just to repeat the process again the next day for 5 days straight, if not more. Then you know what that sounds like? Psychological prison to me. The thought of getting in morning traffic to go to a place that you don't really want to be, but you got to be there for 8 hours. And then you got to do the afternoon traffic and repeat the process 5 days a week, every day, every week for your life, for the rest of your life. No, There's no, listen, there's no going back to that. I promise you, there's no going back to that. When you're the person that's been stuck in traffic all your life, you're like, "Hey, man, guess I can't do anything about it. It is what it is." That's not true. I'm here to tell you that's not true. Because I used to say the same thing. "Oh, I guess it is what it is, you know? That's traffic, man. The roads." "Oh, no, you don't have to be there." The thing that you're in right now, you're making payments on, that you're in traffic right now, that's what's making you in traffic. The thing you're making payments on, putting you in traffic right now. That's what's keeping you there. Working at places that you don't like, people that understand how it works don't do that. Yes, and thank you for the suggestion. I actually stopped putting money towards the extra 457 retirement plan and put the extra 1,500 towards biweekly payment towards the house. And and the reason why I'm suggesting that to you because uh you're in a different space because your house is your last debt and you're aware of it, right? But again, I don't know your annual salary to see where you sit in your tax bracket. Because if you can come down, you would get phantom income, which would in turn help you continue to help you pay on your house. You could ask the tax professional, hey, show me the difference between me not putting X amount in my 457, what would I be paying in taxes versus if I put X amount in, dropping my tax bracket down to here, and they should be able to add those numbers up and show you the difference. If you're right there, especially if you're right there on the line between the two of I don't know where you're sitting at, between the difference between two tax brackets. And the only reason why I know that is because when I just before I left my last job, I had got a raise, right? And I thought, and I was breaking through the six-figure mark somewhere in there, right? And I remember thinking when I got my raise, I was excited about my next check because obviously it was going to be more because I got a raise. But then when I got it, it was less than the previous check before I got the raise. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. How could it be less? And then that's the first time I started really taking and understanding tax brackets because I didn't really understand tax bracket. I didn't really, when you're in debt, you don't know your tax bracket. You just don't pay. You think tax brackets are for the rich. No, tax brackets are just tax brackets. They're not for the rich. They're not. This is just what it is. Period. Right. And and then that's when I just figured it out. I'm like, okay, oh, okay. So if I do this, it's gonna drop me back down. I figured out that I went up into a higher tax bracket. If I put $20,000, so I figured since I was debt free, I could just go ahead and max out my 401k because I had the money to do it. So I did it, which dropped me well below $20,000 less than my tax bracket for the year. I was like, oh shit, that's a win-win. So that's when I started really understanding how it really works from a debt-free perspective. Okay, which is called phantom income. Because you gotta remember, debt slaves cannot debt slaves cannot earn phantom income because they're in debt. Only people like what I just showed you, right? I put $20,000 into my 401k, which dropped me 20,000 in my tax bracket, right? It doesn't not $20,000 per se, but it's just you got to understand how it works. But just $20,000 in the tax bracket, which is going to save me money right there. But if I was in if I was in debt, I could not afford to put $20,000 to do that. But since I had the money, now I could. People in debt don't have the money to do that. That's why they can't do that. Because when I was in debt, I used to look at the high limits of 401ks and I used to go, $20,000. Who has $20,000 in 1 year to put into a retirement plan? That's what I used to say to myself. Now people in debt. LJ and I had a chat. I'm not quite ready to sell the house and not yet. I have a plan. I feel great. She's going to end up paying hers off on Monique. She's going grateful to be part of this. And yeah, she's going to pay hers off. I got about five, almost five people. No, one of them paid his house off. He just emailed me not too long ago. Very excited about that. He had his house paid off. This feels honored when I get people emailing me saying, "Hey man, I just either they just sold the house, got from under, just like it counts on your situation. If you're say like you're in your house and you've been in your house for 15 years and you're still behind $320,000 and but you make $40,000 a year. It's like mm, yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen unless you create a business. That's the only way you're gonna own that house. If you've refinanced it several times and you just you gotta just you're gonna have to accept that you just so far from a homeowner, you're just throwing away your money. I sold mine, LJ. Thankful to you and Andre. Yep, it got from under that, and I could tell the relief Omanike had. Just that off your shoulders. You guys don't really understand until you do it, until you own yourself. To feel this, it's a psychological, of course. It's not a physical weight, but it feels like a physical weight. When you just when you are just debt free, it's just this weight that is just, oh, you can damn near fly. That's what it feels like. You could damn near fly. What's up, Andre? Yes, congrats. And man, he emailed me and just shared his feelings about it. It's just crazy to hear those type of feelings. He was just the way he was just describing it and was just thanking me for it. And that means a lot. That means a lot. Getting out of debt affected me physically as well. It does affect you physically. That causes stress. People don't even know that. People think stress because you can't feel it, touch it, smell it. You think stress don't exist. If stress can make you not eat, that's a clear sign that it's affecting you physically. If you so stressed that you can't eat, or you so stressed that you do eat, maybe you overeat because of stress, that is a clear sign that stress is physical, clearly. When you don't have it, when you don't have debt, you don't have stress. You just don't. Then you have positive money. So when things pop up, if problems happen, guess what? You got money to handle it. Here, fix that. Are you you said like your car breaks down. You're not going to the cheapest mechanic. You know who you're going to? A mechanic shop that has quality, that takes pride in their work. You take pride in your work? Yeah. Okay. Fix my car, man. I don't care what you charge. Just fix it because I know this person takes pride in his work. Just like I do. I take pride in my work. Pride. It's helpful to be part of this community of like-minded people. Of course, this is why I had to create this SMD family. I had to create this. That was most definitely. I believe stress is the number one cause of I believe that too. Again, Andre, it's psychological. Prove it, Andre. Prove it. Put it in a needle. Can you put stress in a pill? I think it's in the air. I think it's that red. When you see red, I think, see, you can't that stress. That's the wonderful thing about stress. But we know that it physically affects you. Make you believe shit that's not even, hey man, you watch enough TV commercials, all these medicine commercials, you just start to believe something's wrong with you. They got so many medicine commercials on TV. Have you noticed that? And these commercials are taking up like minutes of time. Have you noticed that? They're not just 30 seconds. They're not just a minute. They're like a minute and a half. Singing and dancing and jumping through hoops and partying. And it's like, what? This is all you got to do in those medicine commercials. Every time you see one come on TV, I want you to mute it and then try to figure out, as you're watching the commercial, I want you to try to figure out what that medicine is for that they're trying to sell you. Okay. I want you to see if you can tell. If you just have it on mute and just watch the actors and watch the background and watch what's going on, then I want you to tell me, what is the medicine for? I bet my A1C numbers are down since becoming debt free. I bet everything's down. You guys don't even get how I live my life, and maybe you'll understand this, maybe you won't. Every day is Saturday for me. Every day I go out, it's Saturday. Because Saturday, I just always like Saturdays, and especially where I live now, it's always sunny. So every time I just say every day is Saturday, unless I have an appointment that I put in on my calendar, because I don't want to waste any of my brain power thinking about things that I don't have to think about. Appointments, things I need to pick up at the grocery store. I make a list. I write everything down. I come across it. Oh, I need more of that. Put it on the list. Put it on the list. I don't want to think about anything except growing. I want my mind fully on working. How do I own 100% of the time in my life? That's my only goal. And then sharing this same information and helping other people with their lives, owning themselves through generations. Exactly. Everything is down, but your excitement is up. Every day Saturday for me. Every day I go out. Check this out. Now, I always tell you guys this, but I know unless you experience this, you don't know. But when you own yourself, you emit a different type of energy. Okay, you just do. I accept that. I know what it is because I know I'm different than billions with a B, billions of people, billions. Okay. Billion. So when I walk in the room, I expect somebody to start talking to me, conversation. It just always happens. Okay, I expect it, right? So me and my girl, we go out to this celebrate Mother's Day at this those hibachi bars, those hibachi places where they cut the food up and do all the stuff in front of your face with fire and stuff, right? So we get there, sit down, and sure enough, the guy next to me is just, I mean, he's there with it. Looked like his daughter and his wife. He was more involved in us. I was like, I was thinking to myself, damn, there's your wife and kid over there. You should be facing them and talking to them. But he's all, hey man, where you guys from? It's just like, okay, all right, I accept it. I know why. I do. I always know why, because it happens everywhere I go. It's a different it's a different kind of energy. That's the only thing I can tell you. It's a different kind of, and everybody around you will know it. They will listen to, like, when you hear my voice, you hear me speaking, right? This is how I speak in public too. I mean, I don't talk about, death slaves and stuff. I'm just saying the tone of my voice when I speak, people recognize that. I can't explain that to you, but when I speak like that at this particular tone, people hear that and then they look. Like, that tone is not is not used very often or something. I'm not quite sure of that yet, but I'm just keep doing it more and more and more just to see how people react. Because some people go, they'll walk by and say, "Hey, how you doing?" And this little, "Hey, how you doing?" I say, "Cool." I say, "Fine, how are you?" They're like, "Whoa." Yeah, it's the funniest thing. That is true. That is very true. My aunt is 79 years old. She refinanced her home years ago after her husband died. For what reason, I do not know, but it has aged quickly. She still works a small part-time job. She told me she told me I'm smarter. Wow. And continue to educate people like I do about the debt free. Oh wow. Yeah. Wow. 79. Mm. And I really do. I feel for people at that age because I couldn't even imagine waking up at 70. If I would have woke up at 70. Believing the whole time, you get to 70 and then you find out. You find out retirement is not an age, never has been. You wake up and find out I had no money to invest in retirement. The whole time I worked at my job that I did put money in there, I never had any money to do that. Mm, that'd be a hard pill to swallow. That'd be a hard pill to swallow. You'd have to have a pretty strong mind to that's why I'm here, man. This is why I continue to do these videos. I don't do them that often, but I still believe these videos are reaching people. And they will never age. These videos will never age because they will always, it won't matter when you catch on to SMD in the videos. It won't matter. It will always apply to whoever's listening. Because like I said, none of this works without people. Everybody dies. So there must be people that understand how it works. There must be people that understand psychological capitalism, and there must be the majority that do not, period. Because here, when you understand how it works, there's no lying, stealing from people, ripping them off, taking their money, uh, cheating on your taxes, uh, trying to trick people. Uh, just there's none of that here. That's no, none of that. Everybody understands the rules. Oh, okay. The laws of mathematics apply to everything. Yes. Okay. Well, that's what it is. We say not changing the subject, but any thoughts about the constant talk about the government plans to cancel student loan debt? Seems like it's actually going to happen. Any thoughts? Well, it's not going to happen ever. Okay. In my opinion, they do that to get the hopes up of the debt slaves that it's a possibility. That's it. That will never, ever, ever happen. That they would never release that many debt slaves. They're like, hey, forgive all the student loan debt. That's 44 million debt slaves instantly freed. That's not gonna happen. That's just to get them believing, because people don't really understand what that really does, okay? Because I I know a lot of people don't understand how it works, but let me give you an example. If they throw that out there and debt slaves believe that student loan debt is going to be forgiven, you know what they'll do? They'll go to school. They'll sign up for college. Well, let me hurry up and get, you know what they'll do? Let me hurry up and get this degree because the student loan debt is going to be forgiven anyway. So I might as well go ahead and get my master's and my doctorate in philosophy or whatever they're going to, thinking that it's going to be forgiven, and it's not. They're going to sign up. Have you noticed how many online colleges are popping out the woodwork? They're everywhere. You can go to college online. How you think they're gonna pay for that? Student loan debt. Oh, yeah, they're gonna forgive the student loan debt. I heard. That's what I heard. They're gonna forgive it, and then they go sign up and get deeper in debt and find out that's not gonna ever happen. Dangling a carrot, just like that. You're right. That's all they're doing. Th that's not gonna happen. You see how fast it spreads when they even hint at that. I believe she helped one of grandchildren who got in legal trouble. LJU were speaking debt-free language, and he was amazed. I'm just, I'm just me now, really. When I'm out in public now, uh, I don't know. It's just weird. Maybe it's got something to do with the beard now. I got the beard, it adds to it or something. Not quite sure. But I know they hear it in my voice when I speak. They always give me that look like, who is he? He's somebody. It's just, you can just tell. In my mind, I just go, "You don't know me yet. You will, though." That's what that's what I think in my mind. I'm like, "Yeah, you don't know me yet, but you will. You will know who I am." They'll be like, "That's the guy. That's the same dude I saw. I was in a restaurant with him." Extended to August 2022 student loan deferment. Yes. Even with that, I just think maybe they push that date so they can finish building all these houses. I said it in the community today. I said, "Haven't you noticed like these new housing developments? They're all looking like studio. If you go through them, they all look like Hollywood studio sets, don't they? Like you would someplace you could make a movie. See how obvious they be doing debt slaves, man. It's just bananas. As of April 22, student loan debt is 1.7 trillion, 75 trillion. There's no way they're just going to wipe the slate clean now without burdening taxpayers. No, that's never going anywhere. And you guys don't really, when you're outside the debt matrix, when you understand capitalism is psychological, what you guys don't see right now is like the 1.7 trillion that you're seeing right now. That's just the number that you can see. They're not adding in all of the people that are signing up for student loan debt, I guarantee you at record rates. Guarantee you. But somehow these numbers are not being added in at this moment. Maybe this is some kind of thing they do first or they prolong it. But you guys don't, between the online colleges and people that the jobs closed down and now they're looking for work and they think a higher education is going to get them that higher paid job. Whatever you're thinking, I guarantee you people they are signing up for student loan debt at record rates. Maybe they're gonna maybe they'll release the numbers after student loan debt kicks back in when you guys can't do anything about it anyway. Nothing different. Oh, and using tax money to fund everything else, car wash. Yeah, see, you guys, but it doesn't make sense. The government spend a lot of tax money on everything. See, okay, when you understand capitalism is psychological, you're gonna stop talking like, oh my God, look how much money the government spends on this, that, this, and that. Look how much tax money they spend on this, that, this, and that. You're gonna stop talking like that, right? Because usually the majority of people, no, damn, I can't even say it. Um, the only thing I can say it like this is when you own yourself, the best way because I can't put it into words. I don't really know how to put it in words yet. But when you own yourself, you're gonna see the true purpose of taxes. Okay. You'll be like, that's what it's for. That's who pays it. That's who pay taxes. People that don't understand. Then so when you understand how it really works, you won't really be talking like how much tax money the government spends on stuff. You'll just understand, oh, if you didn't force them to play, they wouldn't play. Nope, they sure wouldn't play. None of them play. They all hate taxes. They think debt slaves think taxes are the reason why they're not rich and wealthy because of taxes. That's what they think. It's, it's like this is all the debt slave has to do, and this is all I had to do when I was in debt. Okay, say like I get a check. The government takes 30%, I keep 70%. Right there, the math told me that I got most of the money. Okay. So the math says it couldn't be the taxes because I kept most of the money. So if I have 70 and the government takes 30, that means I got more of the money. It wasn't a 50-50 split. They didn't get 80 and I got 20. I got 70. So I couldn't be broke because of taxes. I'm broke because of myself. Now, see how simple I made that? I wish somebody would have told it to me like that when I was in the debt matrix. Oh, you think taxes are the one keeping you down? Yeah. How much taxes do they take out of your check a year or whatever? Blah blah blah. Yeah, that leaves you with 70. So what? I don't get it. How if they taking 30 and you got 70, how are they keeping you from being rich? I wish somebody would have said it to me like that, and I wish somebody would come to me and say, "Hey, LJ, yeah, you know there's 7 days in a week, right? Mhm. Monday through Friday, your job owns that's 5 days, yeah? That leaves only 2, yeah? So that means you only own 2 days out of every week of your life inside of a week." I'd have been like at first I would have been like, "Yeah, that's normal. Does that?" And I wish the person would have said, "Does that sound normal to you?" That automatically means your job owns more of the time in your life than you. I wish I'd become conscious debt slave sooner. Okay. I'm ashamed to think of all the money I could have paid down with the student loans with, but I spent it on other things. Won't let that happen again. And this what I say too about that. Okay. Even though, because I went through that same phase too, right? Even though that happened, those are lessons that you have to feel. Okay, when you think back and you think about the money, now that you're awake now that you're awake and you see back, you think back at that money, you can actually feel it. Those lessons are important. So it doesn't that's guaranteed to never happen again. There will never ever be a situation to where you needed a car so bad that you were willing to finance one. There will never be a situation like that. Because you notice when you're a debt slave, you always can find a reason to finance a new car. Oh, I need it for job. I need to look like this. I need it. But when you get out of debt, you're like, oh hell no. Mm-mm. I'm sitting here talking to you on my television. I'm not fighting with the math, but I can't disconnect the constant waste as a debt slave, I guess. Yeah, all that's a phase. It's just you just these are things that you just gotta go through it. You just gotta feel it. Okay, I did this. I shouldn't have did that. I spent money on this. All those phases, you'll go through it, and it's like, and then you got to bring yourself back to the present moment. Say, but I know today, and I know for a fact, and this is what you really got to say to yourself to get over that. But I know today, and I know for a fact, billions of people don't know what I know today. That's going to help you get over the money that you spent, the money that you wasted, financing, doing crazy stuff. You're just gonna be like, wait a minute, but I know something that billions of people don't know. That'll help you get over that real quick. And I know this today. Thanks, LJ. Thanks again, LJ. This insight you've given us is priceless. You are welcome. You're very welcome. I'm excited to see what you guys are going to do with it. I'm very excited what each and every one of you are going to do with it. Very excited. It'll be it c it'll be very nice, you know what I'm saying? You said like you get out there, you create a business, and you make your first million. You can't just go and tell anybody that you made your first million, but you can call me up or email, "Hey, LJ, guess what? I just made my first million." And I will understand, like, congratulations, really, like, literally mean it to you, but you can't tell a desk like, "Hey, check this out, man." They're gonna be like, "Can I borrow some money?" You got $1 million, yeah. Oh, then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you getting set up, robbed, maybe taken advantage of, whatever. You know what debt slaves do. One of my Facebook buddies just graduated and got her degree as a nurse practitioner in her 40s. Okay. I know she paid for it with student loan because she's not military like my other Facebook friends in her 40s. Now, if she's serious, and she's in her 40s and she's serious and and if that's her only debt, she could get that debt paid off pretty quickly. Even in her 40s, she could have that, at least paid off before she's 50. I think 50 is the absolute deadline. And even that counts on how you've been taking care of yourself health wise. Okay, all of that counts. All of that can, and it can just when I say 50, What kind of 50 you talking about? A out of shape 50, a person that drank a lot up to all the way to 50, who didn't take care of their body up to 50? That's a difference. That's a very, very, very big difference. I know for a fact I don't look like the average 52-year-old. I know that for a fact because I took care of myself. I'm seeing a lot more apartments pop up and storage places in the community. I'm seeing a lot of apartments popped up. A lot. I mean, it's a combination of the two. I'm starting to see housing communities, and I'm starting to see this. This is what else I'm starting to see. I'm starting to see these housing communities, but they have really small not tiny homes, but small homes. I don't know if you guys been noticing this or not. So they look like the same type of communities that are going up now, that are going all over the place, but they're smaller homes. They look like one bedroom, maybe two. They might even be studios. I don't know, but you can clearly see they're small. Clearly. Yes, but afterwards, after becoming debt free, one must forgive themselves for wasting and making bad money decisions. You have to, and you will. Sometimes sometimes I'll just sometimes I'll relive it so I can give I know it's kind of weird, but when I think back, you can actually feel it when you think back at the mistake from having the knowledge today and you think back of what you did back then, you can actually feel it go through your body. It's an energy. It's the weirdest thing. You're like, "Oh God," but it's just it's like a little reminder to me. Just like I guess it would be better used if you found yourself crossing over and then you have thoughts of swaying back. Well, maybe, you start trying to contemplate, well, maybe if I get it at 0% financing, it's the same as cash, and then I'll do it for 72 months, but I'll pay it off. And then you start and then you go back, remind yourself of what happened, and then it'll shock you out of that that way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? Because I think about even I for you guys to understand, I really only talk about this on the members only side, but it's much deeper than that for me. I think in my life, I think about everything that I did from a young man to this point to where I'm at on the mic talking to you guys today, understanding that capitalism is psychological. I think back at all the moments throughout my young life, how the wrong choices could have changed what I'm discussing with you on the mic today. Could have changed. I would have never known this existed of what I'm talking to you guys about today. I would have never known it existed. You guys would have never heard who I was, LJ, never black guy from Seattle, whatever. You would have never known. I wouldn't have known I could have achieved if I would have made the wrong I did make wrong choices. But if I didn't listen to the voice that says, you need to stop making the wrong choices, if I just chose not to listen to that voice, that could have changed everything for me. I would have never known that I could have been a six-figure earning computer engineer, successful one too, top engineer, sure did. That could make six figures and in a field that not many black people are, that I could achieve that. I would have never known I could do that because if I would have made the wrong decision or kept making the wrong decisions as a young man, I would have got a record. And guess what? You can't get those kind of jobs when you have a felony record. You can't. That can happen. That cannot happen. You see what I'm saying? You don't even know. That's the crazy part about it. When you're young, you don't know that you're brand new to earth. I mean, you do know, but you don't really know. You're new to earth. So like that like now, as a 52-year-old man that's aware and understand that capitalism is psychological, I look at an 18-year-old, I'd be like, damn, they just started. They have no idea how much shit they gotta weave through, who to listen to, who to believe, who not to believe, who's talking shit, who's really rich, who really has money, who really doesn't have money. They don't know. They're an empty hard drive. But yet when they're that young, they think they know everything. How do I know this? That was me. That was me. A lot of luxury apartments popping up in the area. KB says there's a lot to learn from K's passing. Having the time and health is the ultimate highest value, and getting out of debt plays a major role because it provides you with both. And what's so crazy? This is what this is the best way. And I was thinking about this today. When you own yourself, like I always, before I owned myself, I always knew to take care of my health. I always did. That was just a natural thing for me. I just knew. I made up my mind years ago that I wasn't going to be overweight. That's just something I made up. And you don't really, when you own yourself, now you realize the purpose of your body. It's the vessel used to walk this earth to do the things that you need to do. You can't you can't do anything without this body. Nothing. You can't do nothing. Now, it's the weirdest thing when you get out, when you understand capitalism psychological and time is the most valuable thing on earth, you realize that you're like, hey, wait a minute. If I don't take care of myself, I can't do the things. That's the only way I can do them with this body. I have to have legs to walk. I have to breathe. I need arms and hands, and I need to see. I need to you need to do everything. But when you're in debt and you start letting work take over and you start neglecting your health because you need to make some money, that's a problem because once the body breaks down, you can't make no money, and no money can fix it. I never forget now. It's so crazy. I never forget. I need my body to do the things that I need to do. And I'm not going to destroy it because of me. Even when I was young, man, I was never a drinker. When you're young, you're like, "Hey, man, you got to try to make you feel bad if you don't know what all the names of all these drinks are, and you ain't a man if you don't drink this and that." I was like, luckily with me, I was never a follower. I didn't really care what people thought. I was like, "That shit's horrible. You mean to tell me I can hold up, just a second. You mean I can stick a rag in here, soak it, light it on fire, throw it on somebody, and it'll blow up a car, burn up a person, yeah, but then you want me to drink it? Nah, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing That's what I used to say to myself. I'm not doing that. "Oh, hell, you don't know this drink, you don't know that drink?" No, because I don't drink. No, I don't drink. So what? When you hey, people that drink, they'll try to make you feel bad about it. Just grab your balls and be like, "I don't care what you think. I don't drink." I did some math. I learned that I can live comfortably on 14,000 for a whole year straight. You know what? So crazy. I used to run those numbers too, and you'd be really surprised of when you're debt free. You'd be really surprised how much you could live on in a year. Okay, it's like okay. Let me give you an example. I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, so you can understand. I own my phone and I pay $100 a year for my service. Okay. $100 a year. Now, the majority of you guys pay that per month, if not more. I pay it per year. So that's the difference. You see them different? So that's a difference of what's that? $1,200 for you if it was $100, $1,200 for you, or is it? Yeah, it's just 1200 and $100 for me. That's $1,100 a year difference between you and me with the phone service. You have a phone, I got a phone, same thing, but I'm paying $1,100 a year less than you. Yeah, I got over it real quick. I did the math. In 17 years of being in my career, I gross over 1.7 million as a civil service. Wow. 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 See, Like the numbers that I will not add up, I will not try to add up what I really paid on my student loan debt. I won't add that up. Uh, I could probably never add up the amount of interest I paid throughout my life, just from every car, I mean, just think about it. Every car, every credit card, multiple credit cards, student loan payments. I'd be too scared to add up all that interest I've paid over my lifetime. Way too scared. I've had a couple of mortgages. Who knows how much interest I paid in there? Just interest paying. I mean, and you guys know once you're outside, once you understand capitalism and psychological, interest is literally giving away money. You're just giving it away. Here, take it. I know I don't even want it. Here, take it. What's up, Nick? Time is the most valuable thing on earth. It sure is. Nothing in my life today, nothing comes before time. Nothing. If I ever catch myself rushing to doing something, that means the man-made time is in charge of me. I don't like that. I don't like rushing in anything I do. None of that. No rushing in any form. If I have to do something, I make sure I have plenty of time to do it. If I have to be somewhere at a certain time, I make sure I have plenty of time, driving time to get there. Period. And I don't let and it's so funny, sometimes you'll be with somebody and then they start rushing and then they want you to start rushing with them. No, I'm not rushing with you. No. I'll wait in the car or do whatever. No. Yes, that part about being healthy. Healthy is the ultimate. Yeah, you can't do anything. You can have $1 million in the bank. It don't matter if you're in a wheelchair. She's a healthy 43-year-old woman. Same goes for cigarettes. LJ, do you have any workout advice? What is your weekly workout regimen? Do you have a gym membership? How often do now let me make sure it's clear. Okay. I want to make sure I don't want you guys thinking I'm Superman or something like that, right? But when this this worldwide pandemic hit, my whole program changed. Okay. So I'm just getting myself back into the gym. So I do have a gym membership with South Carolina's Planet Fitness, right? Uh I have lots of sunny days here in South Carolina, so I do a lot of walking outside. I'm slowly working and I'm getting my girlfriend back into it too, slowly working weights back into my normal because everything my whole thing changed. I don't really not explain that part, but my whole kind of life changed. And then when you start owning the time in your life, you have options when to do things and when not to do things. It's really crazy. This decision's up to you. So for myself, I had to make sure I said, okay, on these days, these are the days I'm going to work out or do something, walk or something health related. Okay. And start making a regimen because when I was doing weights on the regular when I was in the debt matrix, I had to do it at the times after work, on the weekends. Those are the only times I had to work out. So I really that was just like, okay, these are the days I have to do. I ain't got no choice. But when you work for yourself, you don't really have to go if you don't want to go, right? You just don't have to. So I'm just now getting me and my girlfriend, not just me and my girlfriend back into our regular workout. This pre-pandemic thing happened because it really just screwed some stuff up. But during those times when I know I'm not working, I'm doing push-ups at home. I do push-ups in the morning. I mean, and you could just start out because you want to make this not just a thing that you're going to do just to get in shape. You want to make this part of your life. Okay. So you just start out, you start getting yourself, let's say, I'm going to do 5 push-ups in the morning, 5 push-ups in the afternoon, and 5 push-ups before bed. All right. Just something small, just to see if you really can, because it's about consistency. Okay. If you can do that consistently without missing, oh, I skipped it, I forgot, and then if you do that just with 5 push-ups, right? You don't need to go higher than 5 push-ups. You just stay there until you can get that consistent. But if you're not consistent with that, you might as well just forget it, because it's about consistency. It's not about how many you did. If you can do 101 set, it's about how you do it. People do. I When I do push-ups, you can clearly see I'm in full control of the push-up up and down. I'm not just knocking out 1, 2, 3, 4. No, none of that. It's just control. Because even going down, if you go too fast, you're wasting emotion. Because if you go slow, it feels like you're pushing a lot of weight when you go slow down on a push up. It really does. And if you do this too, if you picture, like most of you guys on the bench, you probably know what it feels like to have uh 45 on each side of the bar, 145 on each side of the bar. You pretty much know what that feels like, and you probably know what 245s on each side of the bar feels like, right? So imagine when you're doing a push-up on the floor, imagine that weight is in your arms going down on your chest, because when you're bringing that type of weight down, you're not just dropping it. That is a full controlled drop down to your chest, because if you just drop it, you're gonna crack your chest, right? So you're definitely not. You do that same motion on a push up. It will feel exactly the same if you move just as slow as you would with bringing a bar with 245s on each side down to your chest to push off. The same thing. It's the same effect, but you're just using gravity. Oh, you watched that video jumping ropes? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I have to get back in the gym as well. I took a long break and harnessed all my energy to get out of debt. Yeah, it takes and that's smart too. That was a smart move, Nick. Smart move. Now it's time to focus again, because it takes a lot of people don't really understand. It takes a lot of energy to get out of debt. It really does. And to cut off things that you can come back to later to harness that energy is a very smart move. Very good. Pandemic did have an effect on me as well, messed up my gym routine. Same here. However, I am looking at investing in some adjustable free weights. Yeah, see, you'll get back in. Maybe you'll do it a different way. Because it really messed up a lot of people's routines, eating habits, everything. It just the world has changed. It's changed forever. This is the new way things are doing. Now, the people that know that we're getting out of debt, okay, it's like everything came to a start. Now you're starting up your own economic system within yourself, and you're attaching it to the correct side of the financial system. That's all. And then you just got to get used to it, and then you'll find your routine. It's different because you'll be figuring out how to work for yourself, and you'll know not to, like, when you create your own business and money starts coming in, you are not going to let the money affect you or change your health routine of something, because you're going to never forget that without this body to use to function on earth, you can't make money. So you'll never let the money override your health. It won't happen. I mean, it's easy to let it happen. You start seeing that money coming in, you're like, okay, what can I do to make more? What can I do? Oh, wait a minute, when's the last time I've been to the gym? Oh, I ain't been to the gym in like 2 months. Oh, okay, that's a problem. That's a problem. Also, I would look into resistance bands. You can store them nice and neat until you need them. Yeah. I'm an outside person. I'm a gym person. I'm not a personally, I can't work out at home. I mean, I can do my push-ups, my daily push-ups and stuff like that. But as far as working out, I'm outside or at the gym. I can't really do things at home. But I live in a wonderful part of the country where it's always sunny. Even in the winter, it's still have warm days. I love it. I'm excited to see I'm excited to see where this gift is going to take not only me but the SMD family. I'm excited to see. what each one of you guys are gonna do with this gift, how much wealth you're gonna create. Uh, I'm just excited for you guys. I really am. And I'm gonna use myself as an example to show you guys that there are no limits. So whatever you can think in your head that might sound outrageous to other people, because just to put here's an example. Just the other day, I was talking to my younger brother. I was texting him, and I told him, I said, I'm gonna be known around the world. And he texted me back. He was like, "Man, it sounds amazing how a matter of fact that you sound." He said, "You sound so matter of fact, right?" And I said, "Because it's true. It's just a matter of time." I said, I already know that I know something that billions of people don't know. Billions of people, billions. So it's obviously a matter of time. And I could tell he kind of gets it, but when I tell him these things, I say, I'm just telling you these things now. I don't really expect for you to understand them right now at this moment, but I promise you one day you will. Man, when we get another video this week, it's a gift that keeps on giving. I thought I gave one just a couple days ago inside the members only. I don't know if you checked it out, but I did. I think I gave it, what is the date today? Today is the 7th. I think it was a couple days ago. I sure believe I did. Thank you, Omanike. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where in the world I will be going. Where? What big companies are going to be reaching out to me and say, "Hey, LJ, can you teach our staff some of this, man?" Because they know the businesses will know if they have people that are debt free that are working for them, they're going to be successful. They're going to be successful. And for you personally, I mean, again, you just don't really. It's more than just about the money. I'm just telling you, your confidence is going to go. It will go through the roof. If you were a shy person before SMD, if you were scared, if people's opinions bothered you before SMD, or you were just scared to speak up for yourself, all that changes. All that is done because you will know the majority of people around you are debt slaves. And if they're debt slaves, they don't matter. Their opinions don't matter. It doesn't matter what they drive. It doesn't matter where they work. It doesn't matter where they went to school. It doesn't matter if they're a doctor or a lawyer or a business owner. They're just debt slaves. It doesn't matter. Hey, your car's ugly. You making car payments? Yeah. I don't really care what you think. Oh, I live in this neighborhood. You live in that neighborhood. You making mortgage payments? Yeah. HOH HOA payments? Yeah. Hey, I don't care what you think. So what? It was weird. I didn't get the notification for the member only. Yeah, those videos, those notifications are going to be different, okay? Because they're I use StreamYard, and StreamYard it doesn't allow me to choose member only lives. So I just kind of just put them up there and then share it when I'm done. I make it members only. But I'm gonna test a couple things because I might be able to do it. Maybe change the setting within, make the video in StreamYard, then go into YouTube and then change it to members only. And hopefully you guys will get the, but I gotta test that. I'm not sure. I gotta test that. I'm debating with myself whether I should cancel my Planet Fitness membership for now until I'm debt free and just use my dumbbells at home. Like, well, that right there is a preference, right? Are you using your Planet Fit? If you're using your Planet Fitness, keep it. But if you're really not and you really believe, that you will actually work out at home, yes, I would cancel my Planet Fitness. I would do that. But if you got to be, and you got to be real with yourself. Me personally, I know if I don't have a gym membership, I will not work out at home. I already know that. Plus, I like working out with my girlfriend. We go together. It's cool. I like it like that. It's like for her and I, it's like a get out the house and go do something together, but we just go to the gym and work out. We're there for a couple hours, hit the gym, come back, and it's like an outing, because we did it together. But and at the same time, you got to remember, we work for ourselves, so we can go at the times that the gym is not packed, because you got to remember that after work hours, the gym is packed. You really can't do things that you want to do. There's so many people in there. But when I go, I'm working out with all the retirees, all the people that are retired, the nicest of people talking. We're just chit chatting. We get in there about 10 o'clock, 9, between 8:30 and 10ish, before the lunchtime crowd comes in. But right there, that's hey, the gyms are wide open. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up here, man. Been on it for an hour and 30 minutes. With Desley. Yeah, exactly. Trying to get in there right out of work. You right about that, Nick. You right about that. And I'm just, what, and I'm grateful. Honestly, I'm grateful that that part of my life is over. I really am grateful for it. I'm grateful that I'm able to share this gift with others. Share it for, help some people that are stuck in the debt matrix and know something's wrong, but they can't figure it out. Then they come across this channel and then they find me and they're like, oh shit, this motherfucker makes sense. I've never heard anybody like him. Everything he's saying is making mathematical sense. Everything. And then they watch videos and they watch old videos like, whoa, he been talking about this for years. And so crazy. I know the majority are not going to hear me, because that's how it's supposed to be. The majority must come across this channel and leave and not understand a word, because that's how it's supposed to be. You are welcome. Thank you for sharing knowledge and experience. We appreciate you. Thank you. Much appreciated. LJ, I read states. Oh, I read states, particularly southern states, Georgia, are requiring the completion of personal finance education courses as a graduation requirement for high school students. Now, I wonder when I read that, I wonder what personal finance education courses mean. You got to remember, what is their definition of that? Because it's still public schools. And when you understand capitalism is psychological, you can see the purpose of public schools. You can clearly see their purpose. Sub J Money. Thank you, Andre. I feel like this year will be your year, be the year you will pop off and your videos start to increase in views. Yeah, I've been feeling like that. I think this is the year. This is the year. It's like, okay, I'm gonna say no, I'm gonna save that for members only. No, I'm gonna tell that to members only, because you guys wouldn't understand that. Anyway, all right. You guys have a good night. And until next time. All right, later.